Hey everyone, this is Melissa Psihudakis and Mallary Thompson with A Breath of Fresh Marketing. Hey Mallory, what's going on?
Hey Melissa, nothing. Just enjoying a moment of calm.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
it is.
Nice.
It's really nice. I don't anticipate it lasting long, but it's happening right now, and that's okay.
Oh, that's really nice. Do you ever see those commercials that say just relax and do nothing for the next 15 seconds?
Do you remember those Glade air freshener commercials that were like you spray the Glade air freshener and your house turns into Hawaii or something? It's like that, I think.
Yeah.
I'm having that moment.
Or
it's
like,
really nice.
Yeah, you walk into each room and there's like an ocean and palm trees when you spray it.
Yes. That's exactly it. I'm having an ocean and palm trees moment.
I love that.
Yeah. How are you?
Made it through another week, and apparently we still have electricity zooming through our pool. So.
Oh no, they still haven't fixed it?
We thought they fixed it, and then the pool company came today, and the guy's like, "There's still voltage going through your pool." So we have to have the electrician come back because we bought this voltage thing, and it didn't show that it was in the pool, but when you press it on the ground near the skimmers that are right there, it starts beeping. So specifically in the skimmers, we have voltage, but it's really weird. I don't know. The whole thing is just crazy. And I'm just so frustrated because this pool has been a nightmare the whole entire summer. It's just been issue upon issue.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It's just so frustrating, all of it. And I thought it was going to be like nice, relaxing summer. And, we did the pool liner and everything. And I thought that was going to be it. Then it's like the heater broke 3 times. Now we have to have the pool liner redone because the seam ripped. Now we find out we have electrical currents going through our pool because there's something in the ground near the pool that's causing the voltage that no one can seem to find, but it's there. And it's just been one thing after the next that I'm just like so over it,
Yeah, for sure. That sucks. And you can't get in the pool right now, right?
No, because, it might not be safe because even a small current could still do damage to your nervous system.
To die that way.
No, it's just not good. Meanwhile, I'm looking over at my neighbors and they're all like in their pools, hanging out, having fun, no electricity in their pool. They're just having a great time.
Do you like Phil Collins? You could go join them.
It's funny. I did play a Phil Collins song earlier today. Oh.
Sorry. No problem. You announce your presence with authority. That's great.
It's just the beast. Don't worry about it.
Oh, awesome.
Well, hey, Catherine.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm wonderful. I did not mean to interrupt you like that. I just realized that it's been so long since I've been on anything but Zoom. I wasn't sure how to mute my mic. And
Oh, no, it's totally fine. I actually thought you were, your dog was Mallory's dog, Megatron. So,
And I thought, I wonder when Melissa got a dog.
That's awesome. So, so Catherine Mangan owns This Princess Life. It's a party company located in Kansas City that specializes in Disney princess characters. They hold fairy tale storybook readings, dancing and activities, and face painting. Catherine, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and This Princess Life?
Yeah, sure. So I, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I love what you guys are doing. And it's such a great time to be reminded that marketing is such a powerful tool and that we've had a lot taken away from us lately, but this is great that what you're doing for entrepreneurs.
Thanks.
So am I echoing? I feel like I'm a little echoey.
You sound wonderful.
Yeah,
okay.
To me, yeah.
That's just good. Just the echo in my head.
It's so all right. Snow White.
Yeah, exactly. I started This Princess Life. I am an LLC about 3.5, 4 years ago. But my first job ever, I was Cinderella and Belle and Mary Poppins at Disney World. So this is such a huge part of who I am. I just found a picture the other day of when I was about 20 years old as Belle, and then paired it up to me doing Belle this week for someone on a virtual call. And I was like, man, I'm getting up there. I think I might be aging out, but what happens then? I mean, this has always been such a huge part of me.
You turn into a fairy godmother.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay, good. You're on the right. Then I'm on the right track.
That's what happens.
So how long have you been performing?
Oh, from the womb, girl. I danced. So I was in ballet at a young age, and my mom had she grew up in New York and had these ballerina, like in the Bronx, but she would have these ballerina neighbors that she would watch. And she was so enamored with people on stage, but never really had the courage to be on stage herself. And then I think I was probably about 6 or 7, and she put us, it was called the Church Mouse Players in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm originally from. And yay, which is a story in itself. But I wouldn't say she dragged me, but she brought me with her into this play. And that was the first time we were on stage together. And it gave her the extra courage. And, she could kind of fall back on like, oh, well, my daughter wanted to do it. So we did, shows with the Church Mouse Players since I was about 6 or 7, and I was hooked. I mean, I thought there was nothing I would ever do in my life. It'll always be such a big love of mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So have you always been a big Disney fan then?
Oh, for sure. And I was thinking about that recently because I was like, have I always been a big Disney fan or a big Disney princess fan? And I started out, so I was such a tomboy I wanted to be a tomboy growing up. So I didn't want to tell everyone, but I loved the Disney princesses, and I just loved everything that was girly, and pink has always been my favorite color, no matter what I told you then. But we moved to Orlando when I was 11, which was just like, oh my gosh, we won life. We're moving to Disney World. And I realized I just loved, the princesses for so long, but then just became totally enamored in the Disney culture. And that was in 1994. My gosh. So it's so incredible watching the way with social media and technology now, just watching the way that the Disney fandom has grown. And it's so great for everyone's business. I mean, I just love it.
Nice. So which one's your favorite?
The genie.
Oh, okay. All right. Follow-up question. Are we a Will Smith fan or a Robin Williams Genie fan?
Well, both. I love them both dearly, but Robin, I mean, I don't think anyone could argue when Aladdin first came out, I saw it in the theater, and I'm sure everyone was just blown away. I mean, that performance is like no other, got to be top 5 performances of all time, I think. Robin Williams is, I mean, no one could argue a comic, dramatic, every kind of genius, just a performing genius. And that was just, I can remember the feeling I had then when I saw the movie. It's just so special.
Nice. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the most favorite part of your job?
I think I love that. I mean, whenever we all start a new job or if we're working for, no matter what field you're in, people always say, leave your baggage at home. Like when you come to work, you've got to really leave it behind. And that's so true with this, but that doesn't mean you're not running late sometimes, or something went wrong that day at home, or, the world just feels like it's falling apart around you. And no matter what, I mean, there's never been once that I have not walked into a party to spend time with kids and walked out 45 minutes to an hour and a half later and just felt like I'm on top of the world. And I think to be able to immerse yourself in that joy and that innocence and be able to give back as well, just in that small amount of time with these people you've never met, is just one of the most magical things.
So what is one of the sweetest or proudest moments you've had during your job?
So there's one that really stood out to me, actually, when I was working at Disney. I was doing this princess breakfast, which I think they still do in King Stephen's Castle.
Oh, they definitely still do the princess breakfast.
Oh, I want to go. It's not at all different from what I do now with this princess life. And it'll never be any less. I just keep saying magical. But this one day it was on my third round of breakfast, and it was the last table. And before I walked over to the table, the server pulled me aside and said, could you just, and I'm exhausted. You've been there since like 6 a.m. And they said, could you just spend a little bit of extra time with this little girl and her mom at this table? And I was like,
you were like, no.
I'm like, no, I don't want to take a nap.
I can't take this wig off. Yeah.
My head is hot. But these shoes aren't made of glass. No. But I said, of course, and I walked over, and the little girl, couldn't have been older, probably between like 3 and 4 years old. Mm-hmm. And she just goes, Cinderella, you look so beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she had something behind her back, and she was just waiting and hiding something behind her back.
Was it a gun?
And it was not. Oh. I wasn't like, oh my God, stop, drop, and run. No.
It wasn't like a taser either, right?
No. King Stephen's guards are like, they are for real. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I would not suggest messing with them. But that's just, that's my 2 cents. But she had this little grin on her face, but then she kind of got sad, and she said, I know that your stepsisters were really mean and they ruined your other ones, so I wanted to buy you these. And she put out this box of, which it had the $12.95 tag on it. And I was like, Disney, you're shameless. But there were these tiny little Cinderella slippers, like that would fit her. But her mom was like, no, she insisted. Her mom starts crying, and I started crying, and like the server started crying. It was just so beautiful and innocent and happy that she was like, had saved up to give me these slippers, because obviously my sisters were 2 of the biggest jerks. and yeah, that was, and I got to spend so much time with Make-A-Wish. I even volunteered with them when I was in like 7th grade, and I still get to do that with what I'm doing now with this princess life, with Make-A-Wish Missouri and Kansas. And I just feel so proud and lucky to spend that kind of time with these families.
Oh, that's nice. That's
a lot of good things.
Yeah. So we saw you've done some acting in movies. Are you interested in pursuing a career in Hollywood, or are you kind of thinking I'm going to do both? What are your thoughts?
So that, I like to call that my first career. I moved to LA when I was 21. I was
everywhere.
Yeah, I'm all over the map. So I was supposed to play actually Marilyn Monroe. I got cast to play Marilyn Monroe in Osaka in Japan for Universal Studios.
Oh, wow. And cool.
Yeah. And I was going to be there for 13 months. That was my contract. And then I had also just finished filming Monster, which was directed by Patty Jenkins, and Charlize Theron won the Oscar for it that year. So Patty actually called me and was like, you can't go to Japan. You have to come to LA because now's the time. It's now or never. And I had always wanted to go to New York, and I was like, but this is what I do. I get to go perform in Japan. And then I was like, screw it. And my dad at the time was like, just get in the car. We're going to LA. And he helped me move out there when I was 21. But yeah, I was in LA for about 11 years. And to be frank, I was not disciplined enough. I would like to think that I wasn't the only one at 21 moving out to Los Angeles that was like that. But I wasn't good at selling myself as a product. I wasn't good at thinking about myself as a business. But I definitely had some amazing, amazing opportunities and met so many people, and California became home. So I think that was career number one and done. But I'll never stop acting, and I will definitely move on to the fairy godmother role. That's for sure.
Perfect. Awesome. So we saw on your Instagram that you were a personal stylist. How did you get into that?
Yeah, I am all over the place in so many different ways. So when I was living in LA, I had been dressed so many times by so many different amazing people and worked with so many amazing costume people. And it just became, I think that's still being the girly girl and having that love for princesses and dressing up mentality, that I also started thrifting in LA, and I went to UCLA. So in like Brentwood and Bel Air, the Goodwills and the Salvation Armies of the world are just phenomenal. Incredible places to shop and treasure hunt. So over the years, have just collected so many clothes, and I would wear things once, and then I realized, okay, I have to do something with this. And I realized how much I still love being on set, but being behind the camera, behind the scenes, and I think that's, I'm able to make up the art in my brain, and it's my way of presenting art. And then I started doing it professionally just recently. It's been so incredible. I have a fashion show tomorrow night where it's a fundraiser for a local urban dance corps, and I'm dressing, I think, about 10 models. And it's just, it feels almost like playing with Barbies when you were little, it's the same idea. It's just art. It's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have any tips for aspiring actresses or entrepreneurs on launching their careers?
Oh, for sure. I would say, gosh, LA is such an incredible, incredible place, especially if you want to get into film. And if you are disciplined and you go, I think everybody goes in knowing it's going to be hard. But if you work hard and you do the things that they tell you to do, and discipline is I'm going to harp on that word, you will make it. You will have a career in it. And if you go with the flow, as an entrepreneur, you hear pivot is such a, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's such like a word that everyone's using. But if you have the ability to pivot with the times and you go out there and you think of it as business, and even though actors everywhere, everyone's like, I want to be an actor, I want to do this. And it's such a pleasurable thing, but you think of it as a business and you keep that discipline and you keep your head held high, and you'll make it. You do you know?
Absolutely.
So we saw you offer virtual events in light of COVID-19. How have your businesses been affected?
Oh, wow. The gig economy for people doing events is just, every kind of event business is just hurting so badly. I have opened up again to start doing in-person visits, but every day, I'm looking at that and I'm pulling back. And I think, I know we need to take what's going on in the world really seriously. And it's, even when I started to book parties again in person, I'm wearing masks and the performers are wearing masks. We've had a lot of cancellations because kids that have been invited will come have COVID, or parents are coming down with it. It's real. It's sort of in our faces in the gig economy. It's been incredible being able to offer the virtual visits. I've always done that since I started this princess life, but the volume over the first few months when we were all in quarantine was pretty high, and it was an entirely different experience with these kids. And I think it's going to be so interesting to see this whole generation that's used to that. That it took a lot of getting used to for us as performers to be able to do magic shows or convey that kind of joy and keep their attention. Mm-hmm. But the kids still really enjoy it. So, hopefully that becomes a norm and we're doing that more.
So who's your favorite actor or actress, or even better yet, who's your celebrity crush?
Ooh, gosh, that's a good one. Wow. Well, Adam Driver. Dreamiest. And
I'm in California if you started liking Marines.
Oh, what?
You've spent too much time in California if you started liking Marines.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yep. Too much time in Southern California for sure.
I live in Temecula.
Oh.
That's why I'm judging you.
Oh, no. God, don't judge.
I'm kidding.
I thought
he also has the Force. So, I mean, like, that's
true. That would come in super handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No, I could see it. I read a funny picture talking about how we're super lucky that, the second, the original trilogy didn't come out, in order, or everybody would be super hot for Darth Vader right now.
That's so true. Oh, man. Oh, that's fantastic.
So what is your dream for your career? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Except as the fairy godmother. That's a given.
Yeah, that's a given. I mean, that will, in fact, I'm going to start sourcing that costume like as soon as.
Yeah, you should.
I want to be a mom. I want to be able to do this full time. I don't know how I'm not doing it full time right now. I don't know how things are going to go with how the world is changing, but I will always be working with children, and I want to be able to bring this joy to kids of my own, and I hope that they'll be performers too.
Aww, they're all performers.
It's true.
I promise. I've got 3 of them, and they're all on TikTok and making videos. Have you thought about doing like dressing up like a princess and reading stories or something, like YouTube videos?
Have I seen or have I done that? Or have I seen?
Have you thought about it? The kids love the YouTube videos for kids. It's a huge thing.
Yeah. So I need to start doing, I don't know why I didn't do that more over the last 6 months, but I have been doing dozens and dozens of lives on Instagram and Facebook, which have done exceptionally well, just so much more than they ever would have gone viral. I'd love to be able to have special guests, I need to do more split lives where I can have, a kid join me and do a craft or something like that. But if anybody has any ideas that hears this, reach out, because I have got my little studio set up and I'm ready to go with whatever.
Cinderella cooking show.
Heck yes.
You should do the Cinderella cooking show. Yes. That would be beautiful. And then you could do like a spin-off of Breakfast with the Princess.
Yes.
You could make like
Mickey Mouse pancakes.
Yeah. There you go. Mickey Mouse pancakes, or you could make that toffee. That's delicious, and I love it. I don't know if you make toffee, but you should start.
I do now.
I don't know how they make it in the nugget shape. I've tried to make it before, and I don't have a pan. I guess you have to buy a special pan or something. It was always my dream to be a pastry chef at Disneyland.
Oh, heck yeah.
That was one of my dreams.
They force that upon you. They pump actual good smells through the air.
God, I know. It smells like heaven at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I have a story about Disneyland real quick, since we have all this time. I learned firsthand that you're not allowed to wear a wedding dress to Disneyland.
What?
Really?
You're not. If you show up in a wedding dress, they make you go change.
No, why?
They go in the direction of downtown Disney and tell you you're not allowed in there, because they don't let women, like grown adult women, wear formal gowns, because they might be mistaken for Disney princesses. And since they hold Disney princesses to a very high standard, and they have, it's very documented what you're allowed to do and what you're allowed to say, that women aren't allowed to wear formal wear to Disneyland.
That's wild. So even like Dapper Day, they can't get to I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
There might be like special days, but just on a regular Wednesday at Disneyland, women can't wear formal dresses. Men can wear the heck out of a tuxedo, but women aren't allowed to wear formal dresses. So
So I guess no one's getting married there anytime soon.
Well, you can pay extra, and they block off a little section for you to take pictures.
Wow.
But you can't just go ride Splash Mountain in your wedding dress.
Wait, but you learned firsthand. So did you show up in a wedding dress?
I totally did, with a tuxedo. With my groom in a tuxedo. I was wearing a wedding dress. We were going to go get our wedding pictures taken on Splash Mountain, but unfortunately, we couldn't do that.
Oh man, I want to fight.
Super lame. I know. So then I went to the gift shop. It gets worse. I went to the gift shop and just bought a T-shirt and put a T-shirt on, and I still had my wedding dress skirt, and they said no. So I had to go buy shorts at Downtown Disney.
Oh man,
it was a hilarious day.
That's crazy.
They did walk us over because it was at Disneyland, and they had this fake. Of course, it was fake. It was the Golden Gate Bridge, but it was a replica of the Golden Gate Bridge, and they walked us over and they took a picture of us in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. So it was okay. And, we got to feel like we got a little special treatment because it's Disneyland and that's what they're there for. But
yeah, that's the Golden Gate Bridge that you're like, I'm from California. I don't.
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I've lived here for 12 years. When I go back to Ohio, my mom tells people I'm not from there. Did you notice that did you move from California to, you're in Missouri or Kansas?
I'm in Missouri. I hop back and forth, but I'm in Missouri right now.
Considered yourself a Missourian or Kansas?
Missouri. I like to.
Okay. Right. Did you move from California to Kansas to Missouri?
I actually moved from California to Knoxville, Tennessee for about 2 months because I reconnected with my high school sweetheart on Instagram. And I, at the time, must have thought that everything does end like it does in the Disney movies.
It does. It really does.
Well, but it doesn't sound like that's what happened.
Well, that's not what happened.
But it's not over yet. That's what we've learned from fairy tales.
That's true.
Bad things happen in the middle, but they always end really well.
Well, hopefully I don't go back to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Don't go back to Knoxville, Tennessee.
But then I moved to Denver for a while because I was like, oh, it'd be great to afford my lifestyle, And then I'm like, no, that's not going to happen here. So I had a friend that was opening a business here in Kansas City, and I said, I'll try it out for a couple months, and I love it. I've never left.
So here's the $1 million question: why do people say Missouri when it's spelled Missouri with an I? But they say Missouri, and if you say Missouri, they look at you like, how do you not know it's Missouri?
Really?
Oregon.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say Oregon.
You have to say Oregon as if it's Organ, like the things in your body.
And they say, you don't call it a wagon, do you? And then you're like, no, but I'm going to start.
You're like, wow, everyone in Oregon is so rude.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that with people. Maybe they all make fun of me behind my back. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So down south, they say, bless your heart, but they really mean like F you if you're from the north. And then when you go to Missouri, they're like, welcome to Missouri. And I'm like, what? I thought I was in Missouri.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm in Missouri. So I may have to look into this, though.
Actually, you're in Missouri.
Okay.
You're not listening to anyone because they're all calling it Missouri.
Darn it.
So you need to ask around.
I need to listen better.
You gotta follow up with us.
I will.
Let us know if you encounter any Missouri's.
I will.
People.
I thought I was good at the branding thing, but apparently I haven't been.
I've legit never heard anyone say Missouri. I have heard somebody call it a mirror, like the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard people call it a mirror. I should have asked them to say Missouri. I bet they pronounce it Missouri.
For sure.
Mirror, golden opportunity.
Mirror, mirror.
Yeah, mirror, mirror.
Who's the fairest of them all? So do you have any future projects or business ventures in the work?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've been shocked at how well the virtual things were, the virtual calls are doing. I have some events coming up. People are already booking big things for Christmas time for Anna and Elsa, of course. And I just met the Kansas City reindeer, and I got to go as Elsa and meet these 3 just cutest deer ever.
Was one of them named Sven?
They're not.
Lame.
I know.
You demanded they rename one of them.
I referred to one as Sven the entire time. So
good. Okay.
Yeah, he might change his name, but I think it was Donder and oh man, now I don't know, can't remember them already. Bad with names. That's gonna have to change as a fairy godmother. But yeah, there's a ton of events coming up for Christmas, and I hope that we still get to do them and still stay safe doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's about it right now.
Well, nice. What are your social media handles that you'd like to share with everybody?
Oh, I would love to see everybody at This Princess Life. And you can find more about us and book virtual things at thisprincesslife.com. And it's This Princess Life on Facebook. So yeah, come join the magic.
All right. Well, awesome. Catherine, so nice meeting you. And thank you for taking the time to meet with us tonight on A Breath of Fresh Marketing. We wish you the best, and we're looking forward to seeing you. And I have a 3-year-old, so
yay!
Know how we can do some virtual thing. I'm sure she would absolutely love that.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies, so much again. I'm so honored, and this has been really great talking with you.
Oh, thanks. Likewise. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.